Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. We are juggling 3 Beamers for the beginning part of this week. I thought I'd take you along for a ride through the process and do a vlog. We have brand new BMW M3 Competition. We have an M4. We also have an Alpina B7. Beautiful, beautiful cars inside and out, and it is our honor that the owners entrusted us in their protection packages, and they will get full bumper-to-bumper protection. Browsing through this fun interior on the M3 Competition, the orange leather complemented with the carbon fiber accents. You also have the large infotainment center connected to the instrument cluster, all digital. Just what a fun place to spend some time on a long drive. Same goes for the M4 and also the Alpina B7. I'd be proud to be caught in any one of these things cruising around town. No time for that here. It is time to get to work. Let me finish showing you around these beautiful beauties while the bays are getting prepped to pull in and do these one by one. We will be juggling these, going back and forth, staying efficient as possible. We do have more work coming in towards the middle and end of the week, so we want to get these all buttoned up and protected to get some cure time in before the customers come to retrieve them and enjoy them. But look at this, another fantastic interior, all types of materials contrasting yet complementing each other. By the way, these vehicles, all three, combination of all different types of protection inside and out, bumper to bumper, meaning ceramic coatings after a bit of correction, paint protection film or PPF, toppers, leather coatings, glass coatings, wheel coatings, you name it, they will be protected with it. And finally, the Alpina B7, a sizable luxury sedan, sporty, performance, luxury, wrapped all up in one package. And we are honored to have all three of them here and protect them and preserve them so they can be enjoyed. It all starts with a good cleaning for all three. Wash and decon process, including clay and iron remover. Starting with the wheels, we're going to use Wise Guy from Shine Supply. You can use that straight up if you have some really nasty hammered wheels, but I prefer 5-to-1 on something that just needs to be freshened up a bit. Also picked up some of these Work Stuff brushes. I've had my set for about 1.5 years. As you can see, this is where they get beat up, the band around the bristles. And even if the band, some of these I have the band completely chipped off, and they're still intact and can be used, but I wanted a nice fresh set to get started on these vehicles. Wise Guy is a tire and wheel cleaner. So I douse the rubber, the wheel, and the caliper. And by the time I have everything sprayed down, it's been dwelling long enough where it started to agitate. You can see how it's breaking down the crud on this tire in just a few short seconds. Agitate the cleaner on each material and rinse thoroughly. So my experience with Wise Guy so far, to light to moderate soiled wheels, calipers, and tires, a pleasant experience. I'll let you know, I haven't used it on a hammered wheel and tire yet. It's been a while since we've had something like that, but I'll keep you in the loop. Moving along, we'll give their Shift Pure Vehicle Shampoo a shot. This is their car shampoo, 2 to 3 ounces in your foam lance, 2 to 3 ounces in your contact wash bucket. Now this is a low pressure system. We drug out the Greenworks, which is only 2,000 PSI. And we have this Chinese foam cannon here. Now it does have the correct orifice to bring out foam that's just good enough to cling and dwell and do its job before you rinse thoroughly. Not bad. When you're switching over from the foam lance to the nozzle, always point down and test and make sure it's locked in securely so it doesn't fly and chip or dent your panels. Time to rinse thoroughly and move on to the contact wash. Two to 3 ounces in my wash bucket with multiple mitts. It will give you plenty of foam and a ton of lubrication. The formula will keep your mitt gliding across each panel. As it cuts down on friction, there's a ton of lubrication, and it just keeps to It just seems to keep producing suds without going back to the bucket. But with multiple mitts, you're going to do the top of the vehicle, put that mitt to the side, pick your second mitt up, do the driver's side, another one for the passenger side, one for the front and one for the back. 5 wash mitts so that you're never introducing the mitts back into the water to swish around a gritty, dirty mix, and rinse thoroughly. And this is the experience I had with the shampoo as well. Both combined together to clean up these so we can bring them into the shop and start the correction process. Paint protection film will go on the front of the vehicles, down the lower doors and rockers, the door sills, the A-pillars, the mirrors, slightly different packages on each of these. But before we get started, we want to perfect the paint safely. And that means do a bit of correction to remove love marks. It looks like the dealership might have had a car wash that they were connected with that they ran their cars through, just with the pattern of the light swirls. They are no big deal, they're topical, but we will get rid of all of that before we start the protection process. We're going to use this little area back here to find our combination that we can go all the way around the car with. And using the shop light, you can see exactly what we're after. We're going to use a combination of the Turtle Wax One and Done. We're going to use a Lake Country light polishing pad that's excellent for enhancements or one-steps, and team that up with a dual action polisher. This is cordless 15mm throw. With a little bit of assistance from the shop light above, you could see those minor imperfections were removed, and that brings out that glorious metallic paint job underneath. This is the combination we're going to go with, and we're going to take a trip all the way around these vehicles. It will work for the paint work of all 3 cars. We brought out clarity in the clear coat, and what's underneath can now shine through from the base coat, including the metallic flake, the different colors, yellows, purples, greens, blue, just gorgeous. With that done, it's time to move on to protection. The very first thing that gets laid down is the paint protection film, or PPF. That we need to make contact with naked clear coat. You can then coat on top of that, but you don't want to put PPF over top of a coating. Many recesses to deal with on the panels of the M3 here, on the hood, the bumper, and also the fender. Just taking a little bit more time to lay the film down, but it looks fantastic. Time to clean the film off, trim it, tuck it over, roll it over the edges, and move on to the other areas we need to protect. To show a little taste of the whole process, let's use this headlight here that we're going to cover with PPF. First, you would want to wash the vehicle and decon it, then use a panel prep, make sure there's no protection or anything from a car wash on the surface. You want to feel it if it's a little rough, if it has bonded contaminants, you want to use either clay or a block or a clay mitt. Once it's cleaned and squeegeed, we lay down the slip solution. This is a solution that the film can float over top of without the adhesive making contact with the surface. So we can adjust it, line it up, tack it, and then squeegee out the slip solution. The adhesive makes contact with the surface, it bonds, and then it will not move. That's where it stays. The slip solution can either be a gel or it can be a mixture of, I've seen baby shampoo or dishwashing liquid and other things used mixed with water. And then you can also use a tack solution to hold things down, tack a corner so you can stretch it, pull it, and line it up. Tack solution is a mixture of isopropyl alcohol and water. And that's it, done, all set. Moving on to the next area we want to protect, and that's the bumper. As you can see here, these guys tackling the job today, quite a bit younger than myself, but highly trained with a ton of discipline and patience, which really, this job needs this type of application of protection when it comes to a clean install. They do a fantastic job. They start from the center, they locate each tack point and move on from one to another, and finally get the bumper laid down. The front of the car, everything facing forward now has protection for a rock chip or something that can fly up and hit the vehicle. We also want to protect the car from its own tires and whatever can fly up from the tires up onto the rocker panels or lower doors. Not a problem at all. Paint protection film for those areas as well. We elevate the vehicle so we can easily install the three-piece lower door slash rocker panel with film and move on to other areas, including the mirrors. As you can hear, the shop manager is voicing her approval of the job so far from across the shop. Once the film is completely laid down on each vehicle, we break out the Geon Prep, wipe everything down once more. You have slip solution that has been misted and splashed everywhere that needs to be cleaned off before the coating process. Time for the ceramic coating, and that's an easy choice here. That will be our coating, BC1. A ceramic coating, 3 to 5 years worth of protection with one layer. You can layer this one, however, which will give you a bit more protection. Easy to use, very user-friendly, very cost-effective, affordable, and is a pleasure to use. Will give you very high gloss, intense beading, and slickness, especially topped off with BC3, which has already been released. This coating here will be released shortly within the next few days. Stay tuned. Again, the products we used here formulated for us at the shop. We go through a ton of it throughout each day, each week, each year, and it's been requested to be available for all you guys to try, and I welcome you all to try it. Maybe it'll work for you in your situation and environment as well, and enjoy it as much as we do and our customers do here. BC1, easy to apply. Any applicator at all that you have or want to use, do a crisscross pattern. This is what it will look like. There will be no rainbow effect. It will just start to slightly sweat. Let about 2 minutes or so go by. Start to wipe off. Use your first microfiber to really knock most of it down and bring in a second clean new microfiber, low lint, quick tip, and buff to perfection. You won't have many high spots, streaking, smearing, or haziness. This is quick and easy to use. As I get a close-up here, and it's already starting to really show through that metallic, gorgeous paint job. The gloss, the slickness will improve as the days go by. Do not get it wet for the first 24 hours. Let it cure. Do not wash it for the next 5 days, and you can return to normal use, wear and tear, maintenance, and care after those 5 days. It was a little difficult to see towards the back, so I moved the camera up front, and this should be easier for you to see how easy this is to apply and wipe off. Effortless, quick, affordable. As you can see here, no streaking haziness. Using the lights above, you'd be able to see haziness or any type of high spot. If you've left a high spot behind, it's just an area that wasn't wiped correctly or the product was pushed around. Maybe you laid on a little bit too thick. A little bit goes a long way. If you do leave a high spot down and you don't catch it, you can remove that with a damp microfiber if it's fresh. If it's been there for a few hours or a few days, then grab your CarPro Essence. I've mentioned that in many, many videos. Really helps to level off any coating if high spots have been left behind accidentally. The coating has now been applied to the whole hood. We're going to move on, but you can see the crisp reflections are there, no haziness whatsoever, just clarity. The glass on these vehicles also will be protected and coated to make them easier to clean. We will use Repel from Geon. We like dedicated glass coatings made for that type of material. The windshield now streak-free, tons of clarity, and More importantly, for the owner, it'll be easier to clean off bug guts, salt from the wintertime, snow and ice can easily slide down and slide its way clear of your view. Time to move to the interior of these. I really enjoyed this portion of it. This one here will get protection as well. Help with a little bit of spilling, some UVA, UVB block. That will be Geon Leather Coat. Simply spray it onto, mist it onto a microfiber applicator, spread it out, and level out with another clean microfiber. Quick and easy to get around the vehicle. The next day, the coatings have cured. It's time to top them before we send these vehicles back to their owners to enjoy. And that's easy. It's an easy choice here. That's BC3. We have a dedicated video on that. I'll try to remember to put a link above for you. But shake the product up. BC3 is a nice rich formula of polymers, and it's SiO2. You'll mist it onto a microfiber, spread it out onto the area you want to protect, and simply buff off. If you have your plush microfiber folded into fours, you have many sides to flip it over and buff off the product. It's quick and easy to use. There should be absolutely no hazing or streaking unless you're using way too much of the product. Cut back or grab a damp microfiber after you run it under a tap to help clean up a bit if you've just used too much, because a little bit truly goes a long way. We're around the car quickly. This has its topper on, and the slickness, the gloss will increase for the next 14 days. The nozzle selected for this bottle kind of atomizes the product as it comes out to help aid you with not using too much. Because you can layer this as often as you'd like. You just don't want to use a ton of it at one time. We're finished here. Let's go inside, apply the topper to the M3 Competition, and then as well to the M4. It's time to clean up the shop, pull these vehicles out, get them side by side for a photo op and a walk around, and let these breathe a little bit before the customers are on their way to pick them up. I know I'm going to be asked, how long should this take? How much does this cost? It shouldn't take you longer than 2 days to get this done, to be efficient anyway. Sometimes it can, and stuff happens. And maybe a little bit more cure time added on to that. Costs can run anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, sometimes much higher, depending on how much paint protection film you want to apply. Time to take a breath, regroup, and finish out the week. It's been a pleasure to have you along for the ride. It's also been a pleasure, and we're thankful that the owners of these three gorgeous vehicles have entrusted us with their care. This has been Brian from Apex Detail. We'll catch you in the next video.